In sports, if you want to be the best, there are no off days.
Welcome into the No Off Days podcast. I am Scott Smith. We got Chris Cato here to my left. BK is in the booth. And what a week it was. You were out there, Columbia, Missouri.
I had a great time.
You caught the game. It was real close.
It was tense. I tell you what, Faroe Field, they brought the energy in spite of one of their end zones being completely torn up because of construction. A lot of energy there as Missouri was hosting Alabama. It was a tense game the entire time. Was glad to get out with a win.
Speaking of tense, we got a little game this week on the NFL side of things as the Bucs pay a visit to Detroit. I feel like we're kind of like reliving the old NFC Central days when these two teams used to battle it out, but they would be battling for the last place in the division. Now these are the two best teams, two of the best teams in the NFC, maybe in the NFL as a whole. And so that should be a fun one. That one coming up on Monday night. Bucs just cannot seem to catch a break on the injury side of things. I mean, we're missing Chris Godwin now again this week, Bucky Irving again this week. Wow. And who knows as we tape this what the status is for Emeka Egbuka. He pulled a hamstring here in this last game. So, I mean, but I don't know. We continue to talk about the MVP case for Baker Mayfield, and he's seemingly carrying this team.
Yeah, if the season ended today, he's your MVP because, again, what they've dealt with on the injury front and how he and the offensive coordinator have continued to manufacture production, it's been very impressive. So no matter who's playing against those Lions on Monday night, I'm can't count the Bucs out. I think they've got a shot to win every game left on the schedule.
Fourth meeting between these two teams, and the Bucs, they got the last one last year.
That's right.
Was that a home game? I don't remember where that was that in Detroit? Let's bring BK in with that. was that win last year? That was in Detroit, or was that here?
That was in Detroit.
Okay, yeah.
You and me, man.
Yeah, we were there.
We were there.
Okay, good.
Why do we have to go play them? Oh, that was a playoff game, wasn't it?
No. That was regular season.
Yeah.
Okay, why do we have to go to Detroit again then? We've already done that.
Yeah, why do we?
That's not fair.
We're going.
It's the schedule. I don't know. It's the NFL.
Okay.
I don't know. Their AI is all messed up, I guess.
Well, who can tell me who is the best team in the NFL right now? Because 2 weeks ago it was the Bills and the
and then the Bills
Eagles
lose to the
and
Falcons.
Then, for a while it was the Lions, and the Lions look a little shaky.
They lost to the Chiefs this last week.
The Chiefs may be back.
I mean,
Colts are good.
It really is. Just let's wait till the last month of the season, and then we'll start penciling some teams in. We are not going to do that, however, on this week's show for the college football playoff. We're going to revisit some of those. BK, what do we have on today's big program?
We're going to be talking playoffs, Scott. We're bringing in not college football playoff, but NASCAR playoff. They're in the thick of it. They're in it with a final 8, I think. And we're going to talk to Larry McReynolds, America's crew chief.
Wait, we're going to spin it around the track?
Around the track here on the nodpod. How about that?
With Larry Mack. Daytona this Sunday, is that right?
Talladega.
Talladega,
which is probably my second favorite race. Have you been to Talladega, Cato?
I have. You have to go, as we've well documented, I'm from Alabama, and you have to go at least once, even if you're not a big NASCAR fan.
I've never been. Okay.
Yeah, the infield, that's where it happens.
All right, road
you
trip,
learn
boys.
a lot about life on that infield. You do, man.
Okay. Not sure what you're implying there, but okay. So we got Larry Mack coming up, and then at the end of the program, BK.
Another game. Call it OMG. One must go.
One must go. Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
That?
Yeah, all right.
That's about as clever as it's going to get right there.
I like it.
One must
go.
We played this before.
Yes, that was when I was voted off of the podcast. They said one must go.
That's when you said you would rather sleep in your clothes.
Versus to not have bed sheets.
No sheets.
Yeah, that's right. Tough choices.
You gave up sheets that day.
I did. I still don't have them.
All right. Very good, BK.
Thanks, guys.
I appreciate it. We'll catch up with you momentarily. If you are listening and you want to watch, go to fox13news.com/nodpod. If you're watching and you would love to listen or subscribe, you could check out the QR code right there on the screen. It'll take you to our show page, and there you can find all 100 and some odd shows that we've done already. And that we ask you to leave a comment on our YouTube channel or a 5-star on iTunes. Please subscribe, fox13news.com/nodpod. So this week in both college and the NFL, we had some news of head coaching firings taking place. So we'll start there on the NFL side of things. Brian Callahan out at Tennessee. This after a 1-5 start for those Titans. Looks like they're in line yet again for another first-round pick. Seems like they have their quarterback situation figured out, but that's I mean, I guess that's up for debate, I suppose, because his overall record 3-14, and who's coming to town, Chris? Who's coming to Nashville this week? None other than Mike Vrabel.
Oh, and he doesn't even get to beat the coach that they replaced him with.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, but he's got to feel pretty good going back in there, and now they're on an interim coach after the guy that they hired to replace him didn't pan out, right?
Yeah. Well,
maybe they moved on a little too quickly from Vrabes.
I think that's the popular take, right? And I believe it. I mean, it's been a total disaster since Vrabes left. Callahan, 4-19, was supposed to be, that's his pedigree, his offense, brought over from Cincinnati as OC, but the offense has been bad. This season, they've only scored they've only scored over 20 points one time with a rookie quarterback there, and then he surrenders play calling duties to the quarterback's coach, and that got even worse. They were shut out the following week. So, it was a disaster, and things haven't really been right since Vrabel was let go.
So the question is, we always think that the grass is going to be greener on the other side. You just make that change, and maybe it's not always the case. Things can always get worse, and Tennessee has found that out now. For as much success as they found in the early years of Mike Vrabel. I think they had winning seasons like his first 4 years there. The last 2 seasons, they struggled. 7 wins, followed by 6 wins. They kick him to the curb. They bring in another guy, and it's just the floor can always drop. So now we look on the college side of things, and here we have James Franklin, a dozen years in Happy Valley. A lot of success, Chris. I mean, they just last year, they made it to the semifinal round of the playoffs. They were, one of the teams in contention at the beginning of this year. They were a preseason top, 2, 3? I mean, they were up there. Obviously, this season, we have hit a skid that nobody saw coming.
No.
With a loss to Oregon, a loss to UCLA, and then a loss to Northwestern. I mean, and that's the last straw. But you wonder, is this the right move? Is this simply, I know we all come back to big game James, just can't get it done. We know his record against top 6, top 10 teams, and it is historically bad. But when you look at his overall record, I mean, he's the second winningest coach in the history of that program behind Paterno, who was there forever. And I don't know, do we have unrealistic expectations as to what to expect? I mean,
yes, we do. Yeah, we do. We want it right now. We see what other programs have done, bringing in new coaches where things really took off. Take Indiana, for example, with Curt Cignetti. I don't want to repeat too much of what you just said, but Franklin just led Penn State to their best season ever last year, 11-3. They won 2 playoff games, and yes, I know you can say, well, it was against SMU and Boise State, but those are still playoff teams, and he kind of battled back against that knock that he doesn't win big games by winning 2 games there. But again, if you believe the athletic director, is it Pat Kraft, who says that this program is not headed in the trajectory it should be, then you trust that this is the right move. And maybe there's something internally in the building, in the locker room, that we're not aware of. But if you look at it on its face, they were in that Oregon game, they were 1 play away from walking off with a win against UCLA and Northwestern. Yes, you were heavy favorites in those games, but still you were 1 play away from winning both of those games. So, what is the difference here? And this being an undefeated team and a top 3 team, or you've got 3 losses?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like whatever happened in that Oregon game, maybe the attention to detail, the guys didn't have the belief, and so if you can accuse Franklin of anything, maybe it's that they put too much stock in that game, thinking that their season was tanked, and they didn't bring it all to bear in the following weeks, right? Maybe that's some of it. But, I mean, to think that the program's heading in the wrong direction when 3 weeks ago it was, look out, this team could win the national championship and everything was roses, to me is crazy. But that is the world we live in, and they're willing to pay $49 million to watch him walk away. I know that these programs, they already have kind of that in their, they already have that money tucked away. It's not like you have to take it out of a certain budget. Like, they already have buyout money, I think, already in store. But, I mean, it's ridiculous. So where do you go now? Because whatever you do, whatever that hire is, it's got to be more productive. It's got to be better than James Franklin. We don't want to get into a Brian Callahan post-Vrabel situation in Penn State. So to me, there's one guy that seems like the far and away favorite, and he's the Pennsylvania kid, Curt Cignetti, coming over from Indiana. Can he even, if they get him, can he duplicate the kind of success that they had everywhere else he's went? But those were programs that aren't at the same level as Penn State.
Not the
right?
same expectation level, right? And so that does look different. Matt Rule is getting a lot of buzz too because he played linebacker at Penn State. He's grew up in the State College area and has done well in his third season at Nebraska. They're finally starting to show that progress that we all thought was possible when Rule came. They're 5-1 now. He's getting some talk too. But again, like you said, if you don't hire the guy that can do better than Franklin has done, then it's going to look bad. And you go into kind of a negative situation like Nebraska itself has been through many years ago when they started pressing the reset button every 3 years. So I don't know. You see some other names, interesting names on this list, and some of them would be big swings if you go after a Lane Kiffin. Manny Diaz, who coached at Penn State as a defensive coordinator during some of their better years. He's having a good run at Duke right now. Do you offer it to him? Do you try to take from one of your rivals and take Ohio State's offensive coordinator, Brian Hartline, who's also an excellent recruiter? There are several different areas, several different directions they could go here. I don't know what
none of them seem like home runs.
Right.
I mean, I think the Cignetti one is probably the biggest home run that you got here on the table. But outside of that, it seems like, okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. Is it a lateral move? Are these the guys to get? Because for all these guys, Matt Rule and Manny Diaz, and these guys have been around. Right. They have led major programs before, and they have not kept their jobs. And so that's. I could. It just feels like history repeating itself a little bit. You're just kicking the tread on the tires here and hoping to find something else. And I'm not saying that they should not have fired Franklin. I know that a lot of folks. We have someone in our sports office, big Penn State fan. It was the happiest day that he had when he found out that James Franklin was fired. But I just think, what are you getting in return here? What's the guy that's going to take you to the promised land for the first time? And how many decades has it been? So. And there are other jobs open right now, too. We have, Penn State, Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech. And we even talked about potentially, does this push the hand of somebody else to now, hey, we're going to fire our coach at the end of the season. Let's just move ahead with that process so we can maybe be in play for one of these top-tier, candidates. Yeah,
you do want if you're thinking Billy Napier at Florida or whether it's Hugh Freeze at Auburn, does that push them to pull the trigger a little faster? Because Penn State right now is the big golden goose of those openings, of schools that have openings. And so if you're wanting to get the best of the best that's out there, do you push ahead your timeline? I don't know. The thing with Cignetti is the way Indiana's season is going, they're still going to be playing in January if they make the playoff. So you don't want to wait that long if you're Penn State. You want your guy to be working in December. So I don't know if Cignetti is the most likely of those candidates out there.
Yeah. All right, coming up on the other side, you touched on playoffs, and it is time to revisit our preseason playoff predictions for college football and which ones are we sticking with and which changes. We're going to make some audibles at the line. That is coming up on the No Off Days podcast.
I need to make several.
Welcome back to the nodpod. It is time to talk a little college football, Chris, and for that, we're going to get back in our time machine, go back a few months, and what we were saying at the time as we looked at the college football landscape, knowing absolutely nothing other than what we've read and what we've expected and hoped for, and who these new quarterbacks were in college football and which teams are going to be breakouts. And I know that we had all these pegged, but it's time to revisit our college football preseason playoff teams.
Oh, boy.
And now that we're at the halfway point, and let's see which ones we think we're going to stick with and which ones we want to change. So this is a make good, I guess.
A chance to redraft.
I do have yours. Would you like me to list your playoff teams?
I have mine as well, but you can list if you'd like.
All right. So at the beginning of the season, and I don't have a particular order, but you can fill in the details. You had Miami, Clemson, Utah, Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Georgia, LSU, Bama, Notre Dame, Tulane. Okay. I don't think that's bad. I think outside of maybe a couple changes, Like, I think that's a decent. You got a decent crack at most of these teams.
I would replace Penn State, obviously, and that was one I went hard on. I even thought, even though we didn't do championship predictions, I thought they would win the national championship this year. I would replace Penn State with. Can we do this yet? Are we doing who we would
jump on in?
Reshuffle things?
Shuffle.
Obviously, taking out Penn State from the Big Ten, putting in Indiana. And I was so close, Scott, when we did this preseason to putting Indiana in and saying, I don't think they're going anywhere. And boy, I would have looked brilliant if I'd done that.
Yeah.
But I didn't. But yeah, I'm going to take Penn State out, obviously, and replace them with Indiana. Indiana, the rest of their schedule sets up really nicely. I think they will be in that Big Ten championship game. Then looking down the list here, keeping Ohio State in, obviously. Miami, I had as the ACC runner-up. I'm definitely keeping Miami in, but I had FSU. And so could Florida State still get in? If you have a path to
Wait, you had Florida State in your preseason college football?
No,
playoff?
I'm sorry. I can't read. That's LSU.
Yes.
I'm an idiot. I have Clemson. I had Clemson in representing the ACC and winning the ACC. They're not going to win the ACC, but could they still get in? They're 2-2 in conference. If you have a path to a conference championship game, you could get in, but I just don't see that with this Clemson team. I actually would take them out and put. I don't even know if I'd put another ACC team in. I think I'm going to leave the ACC with
a one-teamer
with Miami. I am. It's either or Georgia Tech is tempting. Tech's a good team. That's a good squad.
Well, Tech, here's the problem with Tech, and I ran into this too as I was revisiting mine, is that Tech's got Georgia at the end of the year, and I know that's not in the conference, but if they make it to the ACC championship game and they lose to Miami, now we're talking about a two-loss runner-up, and I just don't know how much the committee is going to look favorably on that. So with that, I'll jump into mine. So I had many of the same cast of characters. I had Miami, Clemson. Those are my two ACC teams. I had one team out of the Big 12. That would be Iowa State. I had 4 Big 10 teams: Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, USC. I had 4 SEC teams, and that would be Texas, Georgia, Bama, LSU. And then my group of 5 was Boise. Did not have Notre Dame making it. And so the changes, I got to make 5 changes. I got to make 5 changes. All right, so I'm going to change my Big 12 team. And this is still wide open too. But I got to go Texas Tech. To me, they look like the most dominant team in the conference right now. I think that they could be undefeated. I think you're going to have one team out of the Big 12. But if Texas Tech goes undefeated and then they lose in the Big 12 championship game, then I think maybe you're going to get 2 Big 12 teams in there.
I could see that happening.
But for now, I'm going to go 1 ACC, and that's Miami, because same scenario we just laid out. I think, Duke is a team that I think could start to punch some teams down the stretch and complicate matters. But I think Miami probably runs the table, man. So 1 ACC, that's Miami. 1 Big 12, that's Texas Tech. In the Big 10, I'm going to go 4 teams still, but I'm going to swap out Penn State and put Indiana in. I'm sticking with USC. I think
that looks like a good pick.
I think that they're probably going to have 2 losses, those losses being Illinois earlier, and then I think Oregon will beat them in Eugene, and they'll be on the outside looking in. As for Oregon, I think they're going to miss the Big Ten championship game. I think the Big Ten is going to be between Indiana and Ohio State. I don't see Indiana losing again this year.
I don't either, no.
And so I think Oregon's going to be the team that didn't make it into the party, but they're sitting there with 1 loss, and that's probably right where they want to be, honestly.
Exactly.
In the SEC, this is tough, man. There's so many teams. And I decided I'm going to add another SEC, so I'm going to put 5 in.
Okay.
And so I got Ole Miss and A&M. Bama, Georgia, LSU. I'm sticking with those teams. I had them at the beginning of the year. I'm going to stick with them, and then I'm going to add Ole Miss and Texas A&M. This is going to be, I kind of fiddled with these. I think at the end you're going to have LSU, Tennessee, and Texas all with 3 losses, and all fighting to get in with a 3rd loss, and outside of that funny business I said in the Big 12 where Texas Tech loses in the championship game, I think that a 3-loss SEC team is going to get in.
Okay. And you think it's between LSU, Tennessee, and Texas?
I think it's going to be LSU.
Okay.
I think it's going to be LSU that gets in, and it's tough. It was a toss-up between those teams. I think your Bama is going to run the table, and they're going to end up ending in the SEC championship game and maybe winning it. So
let's hope so.
So that's how I kind of see it play out. And then my group of 5, I'm switching allegiances, and maybe because it's the hometown team, but I'm going USF.
You're going USF.
Yeah, I mean, it's likely going to be an American Conference team. I mean, there's UNLV Mullins squad has, I think they have a chance to run the table, team. But they're playing nobody. So.
Right, and USF has your Power 4 win over Florida. Right. They looked decent against Miami. They got the Boise State win. Memphis, I think, is going to be that big. Do they play Memphis regular season? I think
they do.
They do. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with my group of 12 just so I can hope that I'm right, and stick with Tulane also in the American. They've got 1 loss. I can make a case for North Texas. There are 4 American teams that are playing really well and have enough on the resume to get themselves in. I'm going to keep, like you said, Georgia, LSU, Bama. I'm keeping those in. I had Texas in. I don't believe Texas is going to make it now. I think
they have a chance here in the second half, though, to catch fire.
They do, but I think it's going to be Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is going to be in the playoff rather than Texas at this point, even though Ole Miss almost just lost to Washington State. But I think they're a little look ahead to Georgia.
I mean, Ole Miss down the stretch, they have, They're at Georgia.
Tough
That's
one.
this week.
Yeah.
They probably lose. I think they lose in Athens, but then they're at Oklahoma, South Carolina, Citadel, Florida at home, and Mississippi State. That's a really favorable.
I only see them losing
month.
really one of those, and that's at Georgia.
Yeah. So now you got a 10-1 team that's probably going to the SEC championship game to face your tie.
Yeah,
it's probably
very likely. I'm going to keep Notre Dame in. I know that sounds silly, but I know they don't have a lot left on the schedule. But the way USC is playing, if that's going to come down to that, if they can beat USC, I think that will give this committee enough to say, okay, Notre Dame, this is the reason we set up this 12-team format for you. There's your spot.
Well, you can see in the AP rankings each and every week that they just desperately want to keep those Fighting Irish in there. I agree. I think that's going to be – that's where I came down to with USC. Do I stick with them or not? It came down to the Notre Dame game, and I think they got to go into South Bend, the Trojans do, and beat them in order to go. So –
it's going to be an exciting finish.
And your group of 5, you said
I'm going to stick with Tulane. I might as well.
Okay,
yeah,
might as well. You've gone this far.
I had
Boise, and I don't know. That just went off the rails week 1, didn't it? And much to my delight, because I'm happy for the Bulls. This is a fun team, and I'd like to see if they make it to the playoffs. Depending on what that first round matchup looks like, it might be fun.
Is Alex Goalish still their coach if they make it to the playoffs?
No doubt. I mean, my goodness, he's certainly in the mix for some of these jobs. All right, very good. On the other side, it is time to spin it around the track with Larry Mack, a different kind of playoff. It is NASCAR Cup playoffs. We're going to get the very latest from America's crew chief, Larry McReynolds, next. This week, the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs pulls into Talladega. We got a big Sunday, 2 o'clock, I think they get going. And they're down to the round of 8. So there'll be another elimination round coming up in Martinsville here in about a week. So I can think of nobody else better to prepare us for the big race at Dega than yours truly. And Larry Mack, of course. Yeah.
You and Larry Mack, yes.
Me and Larry Mack.
America's crew chief and America's...
I mean, 2 of the best brains when it comes to NASCAR in one Zoom box, No, I add very little to the equation. Here's my interview with Larry McReynolds. All right, so we're getting close to the championship in the NASCAR season. Just 3 races left. So this week we pull into Talladega with 8 drivers left in the playoff picture. And I know that we're kind of... As you look at Dega, it feels like anything could happen this weekend. Are we in for some craziness here in the third to last race of the season?
I would say we are. Of course, of our 8, Scott, we know that Denny Hamlin at 11-team, he's punched his ticket by that win at Las Vegas. It'll be the first time Denny's been in the championship 4 since 2021. He's playing with house money at Talladega, and he's playing with house money at Martinsville. But when you look at those other 7, we know we've got some heavy hitters below the cut line. You got William Byron, you got Chase Elliott, you got both the Team Penske drivers, Logano and Ryan Blaney. but we know what can happen to this place. We're not going to a conventional racetrack, and it may not be who runs well, who has a fast car at Talladega. It may be simply who doesn't get involved in the big one. I think about Joey Logano. Right now, he's 24 points below the cut line. He's won at Talladega before. But Scott, in the 7 races in the Gen 7 car, he is at Talladega. He has led a ton of laps. He has scored a bunch of stage points, but he's not been able to find the end without getting in trouble. Those 7 races at Talladega since the beginning of 2022, a best finish of 19th. So once again, we all know it's not if the big one's going to happen on Sunday at Talladega, it's when's the big one, and who of these 7 drivers will be caught up in it, who escapes it.
Well, you mentioned Logano, but even his teammate Blaney, both these guys have raced well at Talladega, and I know that they're sitting at the bottom of those 8, kind of outside the cut line. But with this race this week and Martinsville next week, do you think either one of these Penske drivers is in panic mode, or are you feeling fairly confident because of your history on these tracks?
Well, I can't speak for Logano, but I heard an interview just a couple of days ago with Ryan Blaney, and he feels like even though he's at the bottom, Scott, 31 points below the cut line, he is very confident. I think if we were just going to 2 conventional racetrack, he knows 31 points below the cut line is a pretty vertical mountain. 31 points, and remember, he has to leapfrog 4 drivers to get above that cut line for the 4 drivers going to Phoenix. But I think he knows how strong, how fast they all always are at Talladega with a Team Penske Ford. And think about it. Ryan has won the last 2 cutoff races in the playoffs at Martinsville. So I would say that alone right there gives him in that 12 car a lot of confidence.
Larry, I want to go back to last week, and obviously a big win for Denny Hamlin, and afterwards kind of struck a different tone, something that we're not used to with him, but it was obviously an emotional, a sentimental win for him as he's thinking about his dad. What struck you about the way, because normally he would use that opportunity to kind of poke at the fans a little bit, didn't do that. What kind of sticks out about Denny's handling of the moment last week in that big win?
Yeah, I actually talked to the team president of Joe Gibbs Racing earlier this week, Dave Alperin, and he agreed with what I said. Denny Hamlin now has won 60 races. He's won every crown jewel race there is to win except the Brickyard 400. Think about it. He has won the Daytona 500 3 times, but I don't think I've ever seen a win be so special to Denny Hamlin. And I think it's for an abundance of reason. Yeah, his dad is not in good health, and he knows what a role his dad and his mom played in getting him to where he's at with his career. We know that getting that 60th win was a big dot on his radar. And I think to do it at Las Vegas and catapult him into the championship for the first time, as I mentioned, since 2021, I just think the whole list of things just stacked up of truly how special this win was at Las Vegas for Denny Hamlin.
Kyle Larson, not traditionally a great super speedway racer, but do you feel like that narrative is changing? His last couple times at Talladega, he's finished in the top 5. Do you feel like he could be poised to kind of break some of that?
Well, I think the good thing he's got going for him, he's 35 points above the cut line. That's still not a lot of breathing room when you think about Talladega. Kyle Larson has always had speed, especially driving for Hendrick Motorsports at Daytona and Talladega and even Atlanta. He's just always been wrong place, wrong time. But to your point, the last time we were there, he finished second. I would tend to believe that his goal and Cliff Daniels' goal, I know their goal is always to win the race, but I think their goal is to score stage points in both stages and just still be out there when the checkered flag waves, and that will probably keep him a decent amount above the cut line.
All right, we know that the most popular drivers top 10 list is just released this week. How much do you think the drivers care about that?
They downplay it, but I'm telling you, it means a lot to them. And we all know, even though the top 10 list came out, Scott, I'll be the first to admit how wrong I was. It's going to be Chase Elliott. In fact, somebody told me the last time a driver not named Earnhardt or Elliott didn't win the most popular driver in the Cup Series was 1990 when my old buddy DW won it. He won it in 89 and 90. Since then, if your last name was Elliott or Earnhardt, you were the most popular driver in the Cup Series.
Oh, man. All right, let's transition real quick to football. If you had your top 10 most popular teams in the SEC right now, I know you're diehard Alabama, but it seems like it's anyone's for the taking. Larry, how is the SEC going to shake out? You got 4 teams in the playoff, 5 teams. What do you think?
Well, I'm very nervous about my Crimson Tide, Scott, because if you look at our upcoming games, we've got Tennessee this coming weekend. We've got South Carolina. We've got LSU, and we have Oklahoma. And that none of those are a pushover. Right now, I think maybe, even though I am obviously a diehard Crimson Tide fan, I think Lane Kiffin and those Ole Miss Rebels, they are dangerous right now. I'm kind of glad. I was a little surprised when they wasn't on our schedule this year, but I'm kind of glad they're not, because I think they might be the toughest SEC team right now. But 1 week at a time. We got Tennessee this week. The good thing is we do play them in T-Town, Tuscaloosa, this weekend.
I tried to do my own little mapping out how I think the SEC is going to play out here. I have Bama running the rest of the table, and I got you in the SEC championship against Ole Miss, and I got 5 teams from the SEC making the playoff.
Well, as much as I am a very obnoxious, cocky Alabama fan, I'm just going to say let's just take it 1 week at a time.
You know we can't do that. Larry, I appreciate it.
All right, you guys take care, and I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about next time, especially after this Talladega race.
Who you got this weekend?
I'm going Denny Hamlin.
You going Denny?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with Kyle Larson then.
All
right. Coming up on the other side, we got OMG. It's a new game. Well, not so new. We played it actually before. It's One Must Go. 1 must go. 4 must go in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs next week.
But only one
Just
coming
one
up next.
Welcome back to the No Off Days podcast. This is our fun block.
Yeah.
So we are going to wrap this thing up with a nice little game that BK is bringing back. It's called OMG from BK.
It has nothing to do with the New York Mets, right?
No, it doesn't. Brian, come on in. Tell
Where
us
is
about
he?
this wonderful game.
There he is, the
All
Emperor
right.
of Entertainment,
Oh, wow.
the
Thank
Lord
you,
of
Cato.
Laughter,
Oh, come on, Cato.
the Minister of Mischievousness.
Oh, wow. It's one more thing, right?
On the F block.
One more thing. I'm going to give you a list of like 4 things. And this we'll do with Halloween, since we're at Halloween season right now, right? You tell me one of those things that has to go. Some are good, some are bad, okay? Some things that, pull off that list will make Halloween better. Some things will make it, hey, we've had enough of it.
I bet candy corn's going to be on this list.
Cato has looked. Good job, Cato.
I stole his thunder there. See how I threw him off?
think so.
No, you did.
Sorry, BK.
This whole thing was centered around candy
I
corn.
worked
and
with
there
AI.
You go.
I worked with AI this week to get an intro. I couldn't get one up in time. I got a full screen graphic, so there it is right there.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, the halos, you standing on mountain tops.
Why am I dressed like a Reese's cup?
Looks
Because
like you're hosting Florida Tonight on the edge of the universe.
Oh, yeah.
that was Cato, Florida Tonight last Wednesday.
That's me. That's my
And what
Florida
are these
Tonight
circles that were in like portal
That's where you're
paths?
supposed to stand. When you climb the mountain, it says stand right here.
Okay.
Oh.
I am absolutely kidding. We do have an intro.
Oh!
We do have it. You ready for it?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's roll it, Chris.
One of us must go.
Oh, we both
One of
win.
us must go.
What's this grappling technique I'm using?
There's no way that Chris does that. There's no way he does that.
Look how I baited him in. I bait him in here.
Oh, you crushed me.
Must go.
I like your attack move, Scott. What is
I am so confused
you
right
bounce
now.
like a ninja.
One of us.
How's that?
I think I dislocated my hip on that fall.
That's
Oh
funny.
my gosh, that was so
Let's send
good.
that to our families tonight and explain why we're not coming home for 3 weeks.
They gave me
on
like
me.
3
Like a
of them.
mountain lion.
One Cato won, threw Scott off. The other one, y'all just sat up and wrestled. And that was no
Where,
Never-
where
never
are
ended.
all these?
I want to see them all.
Yeah,
back in
forget about the
sports.
game.
I want to see the
Let's
one
just
that
do
I
this.
won.
we'll show them. So anyway, what we're going to do, I'll give you a list of 4 things. You tell me what needs to be off this list, okay? You got to pick one of them, all right?
Okay.
Here we go. Let's roll it. These are all Halloween themes. Let's talk Halloween movies, right? Which one has to go? Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, or Chucky? You got to take one of those off. Which one's it going to be?
I'm not a horror film guy, so you could remove all of them for all I care.
Oh no!
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
What? I don't. None of
He
these.
says
do
all
anything.
must go.
All must go. I mean, I would say, is Chucky? Does he really have anything to do with Halloween?
It's horror.
Well, he is a possessed
scary.
doll. I mean,
Yeah. Let's get rid of Chucky.
Yeah.
Who's really scared of a doll anyway?
or John Gruden. I'm with Scott because the first three to me are just classics. I mean, Halloween is named Halloween. You got
Yeah.
Michael Myers. You got to have Freddy Krueger. You got the Jason with the chainsaw. So Chucky, the least intimidating of those to me.
Was that Jason was a chainsaw guy?
Yeah.
That was his
Jason
tool?
Voorhees, big like
Real big in a
like the
chainsaw.
wet work. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hockey mask.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. He must have maintained it, right? Because I always the chain on my chainsaw keeps popping off.
It's a
And
very
so
frustrating piece of machinery.
Then you have to take it to like a small motor parts type of like a lawnmower place that will fix it.
You do.
And he must do his own work.
Yeah,
which is
and
handy.
You probably forgot to use 3-cycle engine oil in yours. He never had
Probably.
that problem. His always cranked first try.
I know. Okay.
Off goes a lag. Yeah, get rid of Chucky.
So Chucky's gone. I agree. How about this next one? This is good Halloween candy. We've kind of done these in the past, but we got to take one of these off, okay?
Oh no.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, M&M's, both peanut or plain, Kit Kat or Snickers. We got to take one off. What is it going to be?
I love all those. I
do
love them
too.
all. That's why you made this hard on purpose. I got to have my Reese's Cups. That's staying. That's
Yeah.
not going anywhere. M&M's, just kind of not the flashiest, right? Now, I prefer the peanut over the plain. Kit Kats, I got to have Kit Kat. So it's between M&M's and Snickers for me. All right, Snickers, goodbye. If it's peanut M&M's, Snickers, goodbye. We're going to lose you.
Look, Betty White somewhere just upset with you. Yeah, I would agree. It's not hard for me. Not a nougat guy, and there's some nougat in those Snickers, aren't there?
There is.
Yeah, I'm not-
Caramel, too.
Yeah, so easy one for me. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is the best. Clearly.
It is.
Yeah.
It is the
Clearly.
best. Kit Kat
Oh,
for
I
me.
did. I hate to say this, though. I did have the other day on the road trip. You got to have bad food on a road trip. I did buy the Snickers pumpkins.
Okay.
Those were delicious. For
Yeah.
some reason, they tasted better than a regular Snickers.
You
bar.
don't have to wrap them. You don't have to spend the time
That's
it
it.
takes to take them out of the
Oh,
little
that's
cup.
one thing I'd strongly dislike about the Halloween-sized candy.
There's always a piece
It
that's-
takes too long to unwrap those.
And there's always a part of the cup that's stuck. And
Yeah.
then I deliberate in my mind, should I be the fat kid that eats the chocolate that's stuck to the
Eats
inside of the wrapper? Yeah.
Of course you should.
I might just eat the wrapper, actually. Yeah.
That's all we hand out in my house, wrappers.
There you go. All right, how about the next one here, Chris? I think I got my sheets out of order. Okay, this is bad candy. We got to eliminate one of these bad candies
Okay.
here. Candy corn, those circus peanuts, those peanut butter kiss things, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
in that wax
Peanut
paper,
butter kisses.
and raisins.
The peanut butter
Raisins.
kisses are the really, really chewy.
That's in that orange and black wax
Okay,
paper
all right.
thing.
And the flavor actually isn't peanut butter either, is it?
it's
It's like taffy.
yeah, wood glue.
Gross. Well, I like candy corn, so I'm not gonna debate this again. It's a fine candy. We only need to eat it this time of year, but it's a fine candy.
It's wall spackle.
Circus peanuts are pretty bad. We established that 2 or 3 years ago on this very podcast.
Very gross. Yeah.
The peanut butter kisses are pretty gross.
I don't know that I've had the peanut butter kisses, but when you say that, I'm thinking of like Hershey kisses.
No, think
No.
of and they come in either black or orange wrapper.
Okay.
And you know
Yeah.
you'll find them.
Never opened one of those.
Yeah, they're
But
bad.
raisins are not candy, so why is that on the list? I mean, I guess raisins would have to go. But I would actually, yeah. Sorry, you haven't given your answer yet. Go ahead.
Unless it's raisinettes, is that what we're saying here, Brian? Or
No,
these
it's
raisinets?
candy.
Yeah,
I mean,
what
haven't you been giving out
box of raisins?
Yeah, those small boxes of raisins.
Yeah.
And that's like what your mom would give you. For
Yeah, I'm going to
school.
get rid of raisins are fine. I mean, I wouldn't want that, but I would rather have that than peanut butter kisses. That
Yeah.
doesn't actually taste like peanut butter. That
Okay.
to me is an abomination.
I'll get rid of the circus peanuts, and yeah, raisins would be my favorite of that list. Actually,
Really.
Better
Yeah.
than candy corn.
yeah, I'm not a
Yeah,
kid.
that's
Wow.
right. You said it tastes
Wall
like spackle. Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Have you ever
Pumped
eaten
with
wall
the
spackle
sugar.
though? I think
Yeah,
you'll find
all the
candy
time.
corn is better
I
than
mix
wall
it with
spackle.
make my own candy corn at home.
Holds his walls
Sugar.
together.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yep.
These, we got to take one out, and it'll make Halloween better, okay? Older kids, trick-or-treating, okay? We got to put an age limit on these things.
Yeah.
Wearing costumes at work. If we eliminate that, would that make Halloween better? Carving jack-o'-lanterns. I mean, that's a short shelf life once you put knife into it.
Yeah.
Or bobbing for apples. Have either of you bobbed for apples in your entire life?
It's been a long time. We did it at a church. Yeah, church, you call it a fall festival, right? And so we did the apple bobbing. It was fun. I wish we'd done that more often.
Yeah. Did your big chompers clap down on one?
I pulled a lot of apples out of that
Sure
barrel,
you did.
Scott.
Probably multiple apples in one bite.
Except we were kind of poor. We couldn't afford apples. They were actually onions.
Crab apples?
It was disgusting.
Look, I'm going to say one must go. I can barely read these on the screen. Wearing a costume at work, that seems fun to me.
I wish we did that here.
I wish people did that here. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's that first one?
Older kids trick-or-treating. I don't have a problem
I
with
don't care.
that.
I'm turning my lights out anyway. I'm not giving candy to anybody. And then carving the jack-o'-lantern, that's okay. That's harmless. I don't understand bobbing for apples. I didn't know that was a Halloween thing.
Fall festival thing.
Yeah. Let's get rid of the old kids.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Cap the age.
I agree.
I say cap the age at like 10.
What's the cutoff?
Yeah,
10?
10.
I agree.
You can't tell my 13-year-old son he can't trick or treat
Like-
this year. He has his corn costume, and it looks fabulous.
He's not getting in. He's not getting
He
in.
is getting in, and he'll get extra candy because he's a responsible older
Well,
teenage trick-or-treater.
How old do you think you should be?
I think you know. I think you know when to phase it out, just like when you know
you,
to stop counting
adults?
on. What's that?
I don't think you do know. That's the whole point.
I think
Give me a number.
I think if you're in high school, you should probably put it on the shelf, But I think for middle schoolers, many of them are 13, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say if you haven't, if you don't have a mustache yet, then it's okay.
At some point, I think it really comes down to the zeal for the costume. Like if you get to the age where you're just out there for the candy, and then like you got a wig on, and you're like, well, what are you? And you're like, I'm a guy with a wig. Give me some candy.
I'm crazy one-arm man. Now
Beater head. Yeah. That's where
I've got a pillowcase.
if you're bringing the energy, and you're a little bit older, then I guess that's fine.
If you can drive to the neighborhoods to get trick-or-treating, you shouldn't be out there trick-or-treating, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you guys, by the way, did you ever obey the rule of, take one candy? Or were you that
If
guy?
the house said take one candy, if a sign said it, yes, of course I obeyed the rule.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you didn't. I know you.
course I
You
did.
emptied the the bucket.
No, I'm not like that.
This is the older kid that shouldn't be trick or treating. BK,
agree.
right here.
I agree.
When did you guys stop?
Haven't stopped.
I think it had to be 10 or 11. But then I would get off by, my brothers would go out, so I'd get to take them out.
Yeah.
But you just felt kind of guilty walking up there, hey, and then you'd have to get a costume. And anyway, about 10 or 11 is when I would quit doing it. Last one here. You ready for last one?
Sure.
Scott kind of hit on some of these. Which of these need to be eliminated? Carrying around a goofy pillowcase as your candy bag. Come on.
What?
Yeah, you can't do that. Get a Halloween bag. Low effort costumes. Scott, you touched on this. Just, put some effort into it. Now I was guilty of it because I wore my football uniform many Halloweens for that.
That is low effort.
How about vandalism, like kicking in your pumpkin, passing that off as a Halloween
that's bad.
prank? That's not good.
That's not good.
And how about these ungrateful candy-grubbing trick-or-treaters not saying thank you when you
I think
hand
all
them?
of them must go.
I think so, too.
All of them.
I don't have a problem with the pillowcase. I mean, that's repurposing.
Oh yeah, no, I like the.
I don't have a problem with
That's
the
what we
pillowcase.
had. I never heard of
Like a Halloween bucket or something.
Yeah.
You didn't have
Who had these things? Only the rich kids in my neighborhood. I was walking around with my pillowcase.
Yeah, what else are we going to fit our apples in that we've just bobbed for? You got to have a pillowcase.
Is that a bad thing? The pillowcase?
Like my mom would always have the pillowcase, so we would go and empty out our little Halloween bucket into the pillowcase.
Oh, so you were also using a pillowcase to store candy in.
Or it was a bag. It was like a plastic bag. But yeah, come on. And plus, it kind of defeats the purpose. If you go up to a house and you have no candy in your little bucket because you just emptied it, they'll feel sorry for you and
that's
give you
right.
2 Kit Kats. Or
They
something.
won't say take just one. That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
I don't know. We never spent a dime on Halloween, like growing up. Not on our costumes. Now, like the kids that had the buckets that was like a pumpkin bucket.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
That
they're
plastic
rich.
jack-o'-lantern
Look at them.
thing? Yeah.
Meanwhile, I have like my drool-stained pillowcase that I'm actually using tonight.
Yeah, I need this pillowcase.
That's what I got.
It's going to be uncomfortable to sleep in with all those Snickers in it. Yeah. Did we eliminate one? I'm going to eliminate the no one saying thank you. To me, that's all I ask of the kids that come up on the front porch steps, and all I ask my son to do is say thank you.
That's it,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I think the vandalism is pretty bad, but apparently you're okay with that. So
I just don't
say
see
thank
that.
you when you kick their pumpkin in.
I just don't think that's a thing. I mean, egging someone's house, yeah, maybe. I just haven't seen that in a long time.
Okay. Well, let me give you
Cato's address.
address so you can experience it for once.
You want to say the intro one more time?
Yeah.
Let's roll
Give
it.
it to me.
One of us must go.
Please, let me take this one, Cato. He's reaching. Oh, what a feeble attempt.
There you go.
I mean, that was...
Two proud
One
mountain
must go.
lions.
You pounced on me.
All right,
that's
now
guys.
real life.
One must go.
That's how we end the show, by falling off the set.
All right, very good. Appreciate it, BK. Much thanks to our guest, Larry McReynolds, the great Larry Mack, and our NodPod crew. Here we got Rochelle over here on the jib. We got Chris with the K on the ones and twos. BK in the booth. For Chris, I'm Scott. Until the next time we are on, there are no off days. Yes.
Until he falls off a cliff.
The graphics are getting better on the show.